Hi, I'm Brainerd Carey, Director of Praxis Center, and in today's video I'm going to talk a little bit about how to harness your power, how to harness the inner hero, the inner leader, the inner visionary within. So this is something that artists in particular use in their work, right, and in their career, which is that they are a leader, they are a visionary, they have a way of thinking that is attractive to other people. So how do you harness that part of you? It's the part of you that initially started making art because you thought, wow, I like what I'm doing. I like this. I like how this feels. I want to do more of it. I want to do this for the rest of my life. That's an inner voice. That's a vision, so to speak, that's guiding you, right? That is your inner kind of heroic self to move forward. And of course, this applies to artists of any gender, anywhere in the world. It's about having a vision and getting that vision out into the world. So the question is, how do you harness more of that? Well, one way is to look back at when you first started making art. What was it that allowed you to harness that hero, so to speak, that vision of and that enthusiasm of wanting to make art, of feeling great about that? And sometimes it wasn't such an intellectual process or such a psychological process, right? The process was perhaps playful and fun, and maybe you were experimenting, maybe you were finger painting, or something else, maybe you were collaborating with somebody. But whatever it was, you were doing something perhaps by yourself. You're drawing with a pencil, while you're talking to somebody, and somehow something is released. You feel excited about it. Maybe it happened to you when you were working on a larger scale, when you put up paper or a canvas and started to create images that were larger than life, that were larger than yourself, or certainly larger than a sheet of paper, which has its own kind of heroic sort of element, right? When you make something really big. So what I'm suggesting is one way to harness this, to keep harnessing it, because this is what artists want. How do I keep accessing like the magic, the vision to move forward? Think about your beginnings and how you started it and what happened there. That's one way to do it. Another way to do it is immerse yourself with other art. I always find when I go to museums or gallery shows, it fills me with a certain energy, and you want to go home and make art. You just feel the vibe of other artists in museums making all this art, and you understand it. You're connecting with it on a very sort of intuitive, deep, psychological, and perhaps psychic level where you totally get what's happening. You get the vision behind this work, whether you like the work or not. And that can be very inspiring. And that can help you harness your hero, so to speak, your visionary power. Another example of that would be to read a book of poems, or reread a book that you like, or see a movie that you like. When we look at movies, when we look at read poems or read books or other forms of art, it can also ignite something in us the same way a museum or good gallery show can, because we understand what the artist is doing. We understand where they're coming from. And that's what's critical, right? That's what allows you to relate to that, and kind of ignites your own fire, because you are that type of visionary, you are that type of artist. So again, whether it's reading a book of poetry that you like, or a book, find a new book that you like, or reread a book, or a graphic novel, or watch a movie that's interesting, or the easiest is go to a gallery show or a museum show and see some great art. And that will allow you to intuitively, without even thinking, feel something that is about expressing the vision that you have. Even if you're not sure what to express, right? You go to a museum, you go to a gallery show, or watch a great movie, and you want to make something. So go to your studio and see what happens. Because it's not so much about planning this or having the exact idea from the book or the gallery or the museum show, but it might be, or the poem. It might be whatever the work of art is. But more than anything, it will ignite something inside you when you see artists that you relate to, when you just see the passion that artists put into making a vision realized. So for today, that's my suggestion about how to harness a kind of intuitive, visionary hero that's within you, because that's certainly why you're making art, and that's what you want to nurture and feed as you continue to make art. I hope this was helpful. If you have any comments, please put them below. And if there's other topics you want to hear about, don't hesitate to suggest them below, where I'll follow up. So again, I wish you well as a visionary, as an artist, and I hope this helps you, and I wish you well in your studio.